What's up everyone? Welcome to this week's Pinball FX tournament video. Today we'll be talking about the one ball challenge we had on Medieval Madness, and then to welcome in the month of October, we will be playing a one ball challenge on none other than Monster Bash from Williams. So we're still keeping up with the Williams tables as promised, but I just wanted to go to Monster Bash because I think it's such a good October spooky season kind of table. Even though it's early in the month, I figured why not, get us ready, right, for Halloween, and that's the best table that I can think of to do that. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this one ball challenge that we just had. And it was a crazy tournament. It was a closed tournament, as you can see here. So it was not many people, but a lot of regulars, which is always good because I'm familiar with everyone. And we have a few new names, but not many. A lot of people here I know. But it was a crazy tournament in the way it turned out. There was a lot of shifting, which was really kind of surprising. So we'll talk about that later. But first, I want to discuss really what I like about this table, Medieval Madness. Now, Medieval Madness is, a lot of people say it's one of the greatest pinball tables of all time. And when I say that, you kind of think it's crazy to hear because there's so many good pinball tables, right? Even going back to the EMs. There's a lot of great ones, right? And that's true, but really, you think about it, what really kind of makes a table, withstand the test of time? Like a table that you can keep on playing, that you can never get bored of. And Medieval Madness is one of those tables. Every time I go back to it, it's always fun. It definitely felt different with the one ball challenge, just because, different challenges are going to make each table feel different. But Medieval Madness is one of those evergreen kind of classic tables that never gets boring, and I think is up there along with Attack from Mars. Attack from Mars and Medieval Madness are just one of the tables that you can play and play again, and it's always fun to go back and revisit. And you can't say that for all tables. You'd like to, but I think there are tables that, are just going to appeal to some people. But I think Medieval Madness and tables like Attack from Mars have such a wide appeal to so many people. And I think they really do a great job of getting people into digital pinball. I think Attack from Mars was actually one of the tables that got me into pinball itself and even digital pinball. So Medieval Madness is a really cool table because, and it's one of the best tables of all time for many reasons. I mean, we think about the design of the table, it's just so cool. I mean, you have this theme, this medieval theme, right? And so you have in the top of the playfield, the centerpiece of the table basically is this destructible castle that you want to destroy, right? And so you have to not only, if your objective to get a lot of points is to get that castle lock, where you get a lot of points, you have to first bring down the drawbridge, right? And so the drawbridge is just like a real castle that's, meant to protect the castle, right? And so as the player, we're trying to destroy this castle, and so you have to do many things to do that. So first you have to bring down the drawbridge, right? And you can do that in a variety of ways. Merlin's Magic, I think it's called, right? Let me see here. It's called Merlin's Magic can open the drawbridge, but you also just do it by basically shooting inside that moat area a couple times to bring it down. And so once you have the drawbridge down, you have to then damage the gate protecting the castle in the front. So a couple hits of the castle gate, and then the gate will open, and then you can lock the ball, and the castle gets destroyed, right? So you're visiting different rulers and kingdoms and destroying their castles, right? That's the player's objective. And that to me is just done so well on this table. And then when you get the ball locked in there and you destroy the castle will shake, and you can hear that. You can see it. This is a table that I would really love to play in real life. I'm always checking a Pinball Map app to see if it's available, because when I see it, I'm just going to go right there. This table is just up there, with Attack from Mars. When I played Attack from Mars for the first time ever, it was a really cool experience playing that table so many times and then being able to play it just down the road from my house. So you have this Medieval Madness, to go back to Medieval Madness, is that you have this really cool concept of design incorporated with pinball. So you also have a lock in the castle walls where you can lock the ball for multi-ball, and it feels like it's almost like you're shooting a cannonball at the castle. And they just do it so well. And then you have the catapult on this table that kicks the pinball. It's basically just a kicker, and it diverts the pinball back to the rail. You also have the two trolls, the pop-up toys from the playfield, that are probably one of my favorite parts about this table. They pop up, they're trolls, guarding the castle, and they kind of block where they're positioned. They make it harder to hit the castle gate. And they make cool call outs. They just have such personality. This table, in my opinion, has a lot of personality, and I know that Chicago Gaming did a remake where they have LED lights, and it just looks like an awesome remake. And they basically kept everything the same. They just made the lights better, and they added a topper, but everything else is pretty much the same. So another great thing about this table is you hear the call-outs, and they never get boring, right? Like, sirloin of beef. I am sirloin of beef. Or, I am the Earl of Ego. Kneel before me. And stuff like, I'll turn you into a French fry. And so these call-outs never get boring, and they're just so funny. And, that's another reason why I love this table. You also have like little Easter eggs, right? So sometimes when you play, you'll hear a voice say "Toasty," and you remember that was something, an Easter egg in Mortal Kombat, which was also I think it was one of the ones was from Williams too. So you're seeing a lot of kind of little Easter eggs, right? And then you also see the cow, and the cow is an inside joke with Williams Pinball. And basically it began with the fire table. And I think, I could be mistaken, but I remember the story is that a cow tipped over like a kerosene lamp, and it burned down a building. And so ever since that happened, that's where the fire table got its name. And then they just started, cows became a joke, and you'll see that joke around. You'll see references to cows all the time. There's even a cow pictured on the ramp in Attack from Mars. So I don't know if I got that story exactly right, but I think I'm close. But you can always correct me. So this table is just a really solid table overall. It's not anything complex. I mean, it's just a couple rails. But it's that castle. It's the call-outs. It's the troll pop-up toys. It's the theming of it. It's all done so well. And there's so many multi-balls that you can get. There's the peasant multi-ball, troll multi-ball, damsel, catapult, and you have all these multi-balls that you can pretty much start. And I think they're really important for a one-ball challenge, because when you have a multi-ball going, you can hit the castle gate, and you can do all these things without worrying about losing your one ball, right? So I'm looking down through my notes here, and so I want to say too is that we've been playing a lot of these tournaments, and you've played a lot of these same tables. You play them again and again in different challenges, right? But I think when you're going back to these tables and you're playing different kind of tournaments, you're revisiting the table and you're remembering why you love pinball, right? So when you go back to these tables and you put a different spin on it, when you're doing a one ball challenge or you're doing a 5 minute challenge, you're kind of renewing your love for the table because you're looking at it in a different way, right? There's even a pro mode, which is really tough, right? Let's see here. So we talked about why multi-balls are so important in one-ball challenges. And also, I want to say that when you go back and you play pinball for fun and in these tournament settings, the more you play the table, you'll actually start to see things you've never noticed before. Which I think is really interesting because on a pinball table, even when you play it in real life, there's so many things to look at, so much eye candy, and you think that you've seen it all, right? When you've played a table, right? You've probably played Medieval Madness a lot of times, countless numbers of times. I've played it, a lot of times digitally, right? And but I actually noticed something I never noticed before, and that was basically how the ball you have to hit the ball hard enough to jump over the moat to get the castle lock, where the ball looks like a cannonball hitting the castle on the side. So I just never thought about it that way, but when I looked at the table and I was playing, I was like, that's such a cool idea with this whole moat theme and the drawbridge. And so it was really cool to see that again. But like I said, I think this is one of the most, popular tables for a reason. And I'd love to play it in real life. I know that some of you that I've talked to have already played the real thing. So really cool. If you have this table near you, definitely take that chance to play it. But I also wrote down that it's very similar to Attack from Mars, right? Attack from Mars was made in 95. This came out in 97. And you're doing the same thing basically. You're kind of hitting that center target where Attack from Mars, it's the spaceship, right? UFO. Here it's the castle. But the castle shot is very dangerous. It awards a lot of points. Just like Attack from Mars, you hit the UFO spaceship, it'll give you a lot of points, and it's pretty much the objective of the table, the main objective. But if you don't nudge properly, it'll drain right down the middle. So really cool table. I really liked going back to it, but there's a point where I felt like I played it too much. So when I got tired, I was actually playing other people's tournaments, and I played a classic tournament of Medieval Madness, which was cool and very different, but pretty much the same thing. And then one thing I want to mention is, for example, you got to think about pinball differently sometimes. For example, like if you have the drawbridge already down and you have Merlin's Magic lit, when you hit Merlin's Magic, the reward, you can't get open the drawbridge anymore because you already have it down. So say you want 1,000,000 points, on Merlin's Magic. If you want to get 1,000,000 points, you would make sure you have the drawbridge already down so that it eliminates that from the possible rewards. Because bringing the drawbridge down was one of the awards you can get. So just something small and sort of a way to think about pinball, and kind of how the logic works and flows. But when we're talking about this tournament, it was crazy because our first place, Fat Wayne, was not in first place up until just a few hours before the tournament ended. Actually, it was Carpy's son for a while. It was actually really in the beginning of the week, it was Bouchy 99. But then Carpy's son was held first place for a long time. And then just earlier today, Geronimo in game had first place with 72 million points. And so I thought Geronimo had it locked in. But when I checked, Fat Wayne, and I was like, wow, we had so many shifts. But let's go over the scores right now. So first place, we have Fat Wayne with 97 million points. Congratulations to you, Fat Wayne, for that impressive score, because 97 million is like what I usually score on a classic 3-ball. So if you're able to get that with one ball, you got to give yourself a lot of credit, because oh man, that's a great score. So congratulations to Fat Wayne for taking that first place spot. Really close before the tournament ended. Really surprising to see, but always awesome, because like I said before many times, it's not over until the clock on this tournament reaches 0. But in second place, with also an impressive score, is Geronimo in game with 72 million points. Now, Geronimo in game was actually beneath me with 35 million points for a long time, and I was just wondering, is he going to surpass my score? And then earlier today, I saw that he was in first place, right, with 72 million points, and I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. But I'm so happy, because Geronimo in game has really improved. He's felt like he's improved, and the scores reflect that, and it's just so cool. He's basically been doing what I've been doing, just playing in a lot of tournaments, and just playing pinball is going to improve you. It's going to help you improve. Maybe not a lot, but you will see some improvement. I mean, it's like, with each table you play, you learn so much. You get a feel for the table. So congratulations to Geronimo in second. And in third place, we have Carpy's son with 65 million points. And like I said, Carpy's son was in first for a while. So, just kind of crazy how tournament ends and Carpy's son is in third. But still, that's an impressive score as well, because I tried to get to 62 million points just to beat Balchi, and I couldn't do it, right? So in fourth place is Balchi 99 with 62 million points. My good friend Balchi. I tried to beat his score, but I couldn't. I thought about it, and I said to myself, I think there's something real, because when you're playing the tournaments and you're looking at the leaderboard, I think you do get a little bit intimidated. Sometimes you'll see scores and you say to yourself, well, if I'm going to beat Balchi's score, I need to beat 62 million points. And looking at my score, I have 44 million, right? So I got 44 million points in fifth place, which I was kind of happy with, right? Because I was sitting at third before the tournament shifted, right? Yeah, I mean, there is a little bit of intimidation that you'll get, because and that's what I kind of look at it, because I don't look at it where I'm like, oh man, I have to get first place. Like, I'll be happy if I were to get, beat Geronimo's score. But I was just kind of thinking incrementally. I was like, okay, so I'm in fifth. The only way that I can improve is I have to beat Balchi 99. But that was even hard to do. But I do want to mention that there is sometimes like a little bit of a tournament intimidation, where before you even play, which I was going through different tournaments, I would be looking at the leaderboard, and I'd get like intimidated. I'd be like, oh man, I don't even think I can get that. Why would I try, right? So keep that in mind. You don't want to let that get to you, but I think it does exist. And then in sixth place, we have Jambi Zox. I think this is a new player in our tournaments. I'm not familiar with the name, but welcome Jambi Zox with 37 million points in sixth place. Always like to see new names in our closed tournaments, so welcome. And then underneath Jambi Zox, we have seventh place Bad Jack Daniels with 35 million points. Always love to see Bad Jack. Bad Jack was telling me in the comment section about how he really enjoys the community aspect of pinball, digital pinball, and I'm the same way. I think he was saying that there's not really a lot of pinball machines near him, so he really enjoys being able to challenge himself and others in digital pinball with these tournaments. And I'm the same way. Like, I don't think there's a Medieval Madness near me, right? But at least I can play the digital version, which is very similar to the real table in many ways, and compete. Love it from the comfort of my room. So underneath Bad Jack, we have UTD 4000 in 8th place with 32 million points. UTD 4000 is also one of our long timers here, and he sometimes gets in first a lot on certain tables. So always good to see him. And underneath him, we have 9th place Wombat in a Hat with 27 million points. And underneath Wombat in a Hat, we have Ref Jeff in 10th place with 27 million points as well. Very close. And it's always interesting, too, to see what players land where. So Ref Jeff is usually in the top 3. So it is kind of weird seeing him in 10th place. But, like I said, some tables are going to be different for different people. Some people may not want to, play to win, and maybe that's the case. Who knows? But it's always interesting to see where players land, because there's always a chance, right? Anyone can win. Anyone can get in first with a little bit of strategy, skill, and sometimes luck, right? Pinball is also luck, right? I think people forget that. Because it is skill, but it also is luck. So underneath Ref Jeff, we have 11th place Erks 1945 with 26 million. And look how close these are. 26, 27, 27, 32, 35. So 37. So very, very close score. Just a couple million. And then underneath Urko, we have 12th place Fabled Scarab with 25 million points. Fabled Scarab is also a long timer. So thank you to everyone who participated in this tournament. Thank you to everyone who's watching this video. I know not everyone could participate, but shout out to Draki in France. Hope he's doing well. But let's go on and let's move into this week's tournament with a one-ball challenge on Monster Bash to celebrate the month of October and Spooky Month. You gotta do it. It's gonna be in public. I was thinking if it should be one ball, and I think we should keep on going with one ball. Unlimited players, unlimited attempts, 6 days here. So public, one ball, unlimited 6 days, right? And let's go. And then let me just look at the... so here is the ID QJQ0. That looks like a funny ID. But there it is, and let's give this a go here. Good luck, everyone. Alright, so this table is pretty hard as a one ball. Very similar, though, to Medieval Madness, right? Came out in 1998. It's almost like identical in terms of design, where you have the pop bumpers positioned on the top right. You've got 2 ramps, basically. Instead of a castle, you have Frankenstein. This is also a table I'd love to play in real life. And I know there's been remakes, too, of this table. Okay, we can lock the ball, right? Love this toy. Love this mechanic here. With all the Universal monsters. The call-outs. Oh, man. I'm just seeing so many similarities between this and Medieval Madness. Maybe I just cradle one ball. Oh no. Oh!
Jackpot! Jackpot! Double super!
Oh no! Okay, you gotta be careful there.
All the other girls will be green with rain.
Ooh, that was close. Hey, what is that noise?
I usually run in pairs.
Are we at? Is this full moon fever? Oh no! Whoa, that was fast.
Yes!
Oh no! Could have nudged there. But I'm happy with that first try for one ball. Well, guys, thank you for watching me play this one ball challenge on Monster Bash. Like I said, I think it's a great October table. There's no better way to welcome October than Monster Bash when you're thinking about pinball and Halloween-based tables. Good luck and have fun, and we'll see how you do. Till next time. Catch you guys later.